Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a Dark Arm Dragon deck profile. So I'm really excited for this one. I don't know who's more excited about this one, you guys or me, because ever since the live ban list reaction video, I promised you guys I was going to do a Dark Arm Dragon deck profile since Dark Arm Dragon went to 3, my friends. And I've really been playing around with this one. I actually made this one before the ban list came out in anticipation that Dark Arm Dragon was going to go to 3, but let's get into this one. So I'm super excited for this one. You got to watch the video all the way through and watch it all the way to the end because this deck is bonkers and I'm going to be explaining combos throughout. So before we get into this, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell on so you can become part of the notification squad. Don't forget to check out the Ko-Fi and the Patreon in the description so you guys can become channel donors and donate to the channel. And let's get into this one. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of the Phantom Darkness Dark Arm Dragon. Yes, I specifically went out and got 3, not 1, not 2, but 3 copies of the Phantom Darkness original print Dark Arm Dragons. You got to play it in style and like the old school with Teledad. So basically what this card does, if you guys don't know, which you should if you're here, basically what this card does is if you have exactly 3 dark monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon Dark Arm Dragon to your side of the field. Then you can banish a dark monster from the graveyard to target 1 card on the field and destroy it. This is not once per turn. You can special summon Dark Arm Dragon as many times as you want on your turn. Then we play 3 copies of Destiny Hero Malicious. Destiny Hero Malicious is really good in here. Basically what this card does is it lets you put extra monsters on the field to be able to use as link material, synchro material, and all sorts of stuff like that. And it's just a really, really, really good card that lets you put all sorts of different materials on the field. But basically you banish from the graveyard and then you can special summon another Malicious from your graveyard onto your side of the field, which can be extremely beneficial to you, putting all sorts of different monsters on your side of the field. Then we play 2 copies of Vision Hero Vion. Vision Hero Vion's effect is that when it's normal summon or special summon, you can send a hero monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is always going to be your Vision or your Destiny Hero Malicious or a copy of your Shadow Mist that you play in the deck, so you can add another hero from your deck to your hand, because we do play a small hero engine in this deck to be able to go into all sorts of different plays. Then it wouldn't be one of my decks without a Blackwing in it, so we're going to be playing a single copy of Blackwing Zaphros the Elite. So Zaphros the Elite lets you bounce a monster on your side of the field back to your hand by banishing or by special summoning this card to your side of the field, and then you take 400 points of damage. And you can only activate Zaphros the Elite's effect once per turn, or once per duel, which is not that big of a deal, but it's really a good card for this deck because you want to have that extra ability to special summon a monster on your side of the field so you can go into rank 4s or go into a link material or something like that. Then we play a single copy of Dark Grepher because it's a dark deck. You need Dark Grepher to send the stuff that you need to the graveyard. Really good effect. Really good card. Basically, then we play 1 copy of Armageddon Knight. Armageddon Knight sends the dark monsters we need to the graveyard so we can use Malicious and stuff like that for our combos. 1 copy of Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is, if this card is special summon, you get to add a change spell trap card, but we have no way of special summoning in this deck, so that's not a big deal. Then, its other effect is if it's sent to the graveyard, you get to add a hero monster from your deck to your hand. The other card that we're playing in here is a little bit of my flair in this deck, and that is 1 copy of Evil Hero Dusted Gold. I did have the one Dusted Gold, so I played the Dusted Gold, because I get to play 3 of my favorite cards of all time, which is Malicious Bane, Beals, and Dark Arm Dragon all in one deck, which is awesome. Then we play, for the last 2 monsters, we play 2 copies of Plague Spreader Zombie. Plague Spreader Zombie is here because it gets itself out of the graveyard, puts stuff back on the top of your deck that you don't want, like a copy of Destiny Hero Malicious, so you can special summon another one. Like if you get one in your hand and you have Plague Spreader in graveyard, you can stack one of your Maliciouses to put it back in the deck to be able to then special summon it back from the deck, shuffling the deck so you don't dead draw at the next turn. So that's it for the monsters. I know it doesn't look like a lot, but we have a lot of linked monsters that enables this deck to summon all 3 Dark Arm Dragons, and I am making a claim, all 3 Dark Arm Dragons in a turn. Every single test hand I've done with this deck, I will summon at least 2 Dark Arm Dragons onto the field with maybe a Malicious Bane or a Beals or both on my side of the field. So that's it for the monsters. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Monster Reborn. Now we're playing a lot of spells, so bear with me. One copy of Monster Reborn. It's good extender. Rhoda, because it lets us search all of our heroes and all of our different like cards that we need, like Armageddon Knight and Grapher. It's like an extra one of. It's like a wild card. One copy of Foolish Burial to send like Plague Spreader, or a copy of Malicious to the graveyard, or something like that to get it in the graveyard, because it's basically focused around Malicious, Plague Spreader, and Dark Armed Dragon, which is like my favorite engine of the entire game, was Plague Spreader and Malicious. 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. You need the Allure of Darkness because the whole deck is dark. We play so many draw cards in this deck, it's ridiculous. 1 copy of Dark Calling because it's searchable with our evil hero, A Dusted Gold. The other cool thing is the only card you're ever going to search off of the copy of Vion that you're going to send to the graveyard is Shadow Mist normally. You're going to usually send Shadow Mist, which then searches A Dusted Gold, which is like the big combo of the deck to be able to go into all sorts of different stuff. Then we play 3 copies of Destiny Fusion because it does help us get our Destiny hero Malicious to the graveyard, and it's kind of like Foolish Burial too, because it can let you go into Destiny Hero Dangerous. And Dangerous's effect is that it just takes a dark effect monster and a Destiny Hero, so it lets you send any dark monster you want to the graveyard, and a Destiny Hero Malicious to the graveyard, which could be a Plague Spreader and a Destiny Hero Malicious. Then you can special summon Plague Spreader and Synchro for Beals, and then special summon, and you still have your 2 Maliciouses engrave to be able, like your 2 Malicious special summons that you haven't even done yet. So you have all those combos that you have with just this one card. Then we play 3 copies of Called by the Grave. Called by the Grave is basically just here to stop hand traps because we want to play through our entire hand and play through our field. Now, I will warn you, when you play this deck, it's just going to be a lot of thinking that you're going to have to do when you're playing this deck of how I'm going to draw so many cards so fast. Then you play 3 copies of Super Polymerization. Super Polymerization is really good because it breaks boards and it just helps you get monsters off the field, like we need to do that with Dark Armed Dragon, but it helps you a lot to get into stuff like Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, Mud Dragon, so you can use it as a level 4 monster to go into number 60 to be able to draw more cards off the deck or special summon something from the graveyard. But you can use Mud Dragon as a as an XYZ material with Super Poly to go into that to go +1 off of the detach. Then we play 1 copy of DDR because we are playing in its old engine. Keep that in mind. We are playing DDR, and you can banish stuff from your graveyard, like your copy of Plague Spreader. Once it hits the field off its own effect, it banishes itself. DDR revives it. So that's why DDR is okay in this deck, because it doesn't brick. 1 copy of Living Fossil, because it's basically Monster Reborn for a level 4 or lower monster, which is really cool. And then the reason the deck works is because of this. We play the Broken Bamboo Sword engine. So we play a single copy of Broken Bamboo Sword, and then 3 copies of Cursed Bamboo Sword. Now, you might be looking at this and going, oh, that's how he's doing it. But that's how this works. Every time you banish, or every time a Cursed Bamboo Sword is sent to the graveyard, you get to add another Bamboo Sword from your deck to your hand, which is going to be your Golden Bamboo Sword. So, if you can put any 2 monsters on the field with a Zold, and then a Zold's effect triggers to send your 3 copies of your Cursed Bamboo Sword to the graveyard, you get to search 3 Goldens, and then if you already have Broken in your hand, you essentially just got to draw 6, which is really good for the deck because it resolves after a Zold resolves, and then you get to put all those cards on the field and draw 6 cards off of that, which is nuts. I really, really love that ability, and it's nuts that you're able to do that. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Basically what you're trying to do is draw as many cards as possible to dig into your deck to get Dark Armed Dragon, because Dark Armed Dragon has no way of searching in the deck. You cannot search it in any, I don't know of any card that can actually search Dark Armed Dragon, so you have to draw it, which is why we play Allure, Cursed Bamboo Sword Engine, and stuff like that to get it as quickly as possible. So that's it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck, where a lot of the powerhouses are besides Dark Armed Dragon. I am so excited to show you guys this deck. So then we play a single copy of Dark Armed, the Dragon of Annihilation. You just need it as a 1 of, because basically, it's for style points, basically, if you make it. You can make it with if you have exactly 5 dark monsters in your graveyard, you can XYZ summon it on top of a level 5 or higher dark dragon monster you control. And then it also, you can detach a material from this card to target a card your opponent controls and destroy it, and then banish one card from your graveyard, which if you don't want to banish a dark monster, you can use this, which is really good. You can use banish any card. One copy of Red Eye's Flare Metal Dragon. Like, I'm literally playing like all my favorite cards in this deck. Flare Metal Dragon is really good because it burns your opponent for 500, which is really good. After you blow the field, you can make this on top of 2 Dark Armed Dragons after battle phase. If you didn't finish them off, you can make this and then wait for them to burn themselves out. One copy of number 60. Number 60 is really a good extender because you can skip your next draw phase to draw 2 cards and then discard 1, which is really good. And then also you can double the attack of a Dark Armed Dragon to make it really big. I mean, it makes it like 56 on swing, which is crazy. Boral Sword to help OTK. I play a single copy of Sword Yugioh because it's really easy to go into in this deck and you want to dig. Nightmare Unicorn, Nightmare Phoenix, and Nightmare Cerberus to pop, or to spin cards, pop spells and traps, and pop monsters just in case you need it. So you have options with all of these. And then the reason the deck works is because of Isolde. Isolde makes the deck work because it has the ability that if this card is link summoned, you get to add a warrior monster from your deck to your hand. But it has the ability also that you can send any number of equipped spell cards with different names from your deck to the graveyard, and then you get to add a warrior monster from your deck to your hand. But you can send stuff like a single copy of the bamboo sword, like the cursed bamboo sword, to the graveyard to then search stuff. But if you open up multiples of these, that's why it works. Because, like, all you have to do is send one of these to the graveyard, and then these start snowballing by adding and drawing off of them. So you just send, like, a single copy, like, you send these 4 to the graveyard, and if you open up one of these, like, you open up the Cursed Bamboo Sword, you have those plays. So you can't send all 3 Cursed Bamboo Swords, but you can send one to then search a Cursed Golden Bamboo Sword and then to play off there. Like, you have so many plays in here. The only thing I might add in here is like a Foolish Burial Goods to send the other ones to the graveyard, but I don't know. We might do that in the future. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon is a really good card in here because you can Super Poly it out. Mud Dragon is another really good one because you can Super Poly it out. Evil Hero Malicious Bane is a really good one because you can make a 3k beat stick that blows board and then put Dark Armed Dragons on the field and attack your opponent. And then Destiny Hero Dangerous is really, 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 really good because you can just put it on the field and then send... It's really good with Destiny Fusion. That's the only reason you play it. And then a single copy of Beals because the other stuff you use is like link material and stuff like that. But that's something that's a really good card. So I did mention earlier in the video, I will correct myself. I did mention at the beginning of the video or somewhere in the video that you could send with Isolde all of these, but you can't. They have to be different names. But you do draw these, and then you snowball it with them, which is really a good effect. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you enjoyed this Dark Armed Dragon deck profile. I am so excited for this deck. That's probably why I messed that up. But it's such a good deck. It's so fun to be able to just special summon all the Dark Armed Dragons. I have, in a single duel, summoned all 3 at the same time, which was absolutely bonkers. So definitely check out this deck. Definitely give us a like. Definitely subscribe and hit the bell so you guys can become a notification squad. And I am so excited and so proud that I got to show you guys this deck. So anyways, guys, this is Dark Armed Duelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell down there so you can become part of the notification squad. And I'll see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.